Welcome to the House of Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday wherever you guys are at. Those that are coming on in, y'all know the routine. Those new in here, I'm going to learn you real quick. Break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. We got the pressers. We're going to start them up momentarily. Let's get a couple more people in the room. Definitely a lot earlier than normal. We are doing a simulcast right now on both YouTube and Instagram. So those that are in Instagram, if you guys want to join the conversation, come on over to Raider Nation News today. On YouTube, we are now officially 90 away from 7K. Another huge milestone on its way. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. I am Punchy. What up, what up, what up, what up? I see Bang Bang is in IG. Manny is in IG, and we're getting the Fire McDaniels as usual. I'm not going to play his press conference from earlier. The press conference we are going to listen to. You had Mick Lombardi at the podium. You had Patrick Graham at the podium. Davante Adams, Jimmy Garoppolo, of course. This is their normal Wednesday pressers. So let's get into it. We will start. I believe it was Patrick Graham that was first to take the podium. I haven't heard anything yet. I didn't hear this presser at all. So I'm listening to it for the first time, probably just as most of you are as well. Again, if you guys are on Instagram right now in the live chat, come on over to Raider Nation News today on YouTube, and you guys will be able to hear the presser as well. You will not be able to hear it from IG. So yeah, we're going to get into it right now. Give me 1 second. No, we're not going to play McDaniels, bro. We're not going to play McDaniels. So we're tired of hearing the and you know. So yeah, we're not hearing that. But it's about 20 minutes in total in length. But here we go, guys. And let me know you guys can hear the audio, those that are on YouTube.
Max Crosby for the week. It seems like he's getting better. Is that possible? He's actually getting better this year?
Max is always working on that 1% increase of how to improve every day. You know, you hear him talk about it all the time, but that's the goal. Improvement right now during this part of the season, just try to keep getting better, stay healthy, and rock and roll.
He's actually worked on to stand out as far as taking another step up.
Max, in terms of his, again, he does such a phenomenal job in terms of just taking care of his body, getting the mental reps, working the physical reps out there at practice. He's usually working on every facet of his game. He, as a really good player, somebody that's focused on improving every day. I can't pinpoint what he's working on exactly, but he's always working to improve.
You had some injuries in the secondary. Obviously, some new guys had to step up. How nice was that to see them fill that role, and just what stood out about some of the guys getting more action than that?
Football, injuries are a part of the game, and always proud of the guys each week that step into their roles. Just like as we get ready for New England right now, guys are going to have to get ready. Whatever the role is based on the game plan, guys got to get ready for that. And, as a coach, you're always excited to see them seize those opportunities. So in terms of just excitement, always excited about that. It's just, we're teachers, so it's just the same. It's the same thing.
Coach, Myra Gomez, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations on that last play. Can you walk us through what you felt like on the way that defense closes out the game for that win, and how you carry on that energy to train and prepare for the next game?
Always excited for the players to have success. Again, I spoke about it. Feel like we're teachers, just happen to teach football. So anytime you see guys have some success on the football field, whether it's in practice, in the meeting room when a guy gets the concept, we're going through New England right now and just making sure they understand who we're about to play. So there's always some excitement in terms of being proud of them, reaping the benefit of all the hard work they put in. So again, we got a tough matchup this week against New England, and we started the process already in the meeting room, and I'm just always excited. I find the pleasure in that, them getting the topic we're talking about and seeing them execute.
With a lot of young cornerbacks, I know we probably asked you this in training camp. Now that we're in the season, what kind of positive influences Marcus Peters had in working with those guys?
A lot of experience in the league, very good communicator. And I'm sure the younger players pick his brain about what he's seen in the past, what's he seeing in terms of their technique. You have to talk to them specifically, but I'm sure, like most veterans, they're able to give some insight that, I can't necessarily give them because I never played. I know I could coach through the different techniques, coach through the calls, but there's certain things that the players can give them that, is real valuable.
it easier or harder to prepare for an offense that's struggling? Like, obviously, the Patriots having trouble. Does that make it easier for you or harder this season?
I know this from experience. Bill will have them ready to go. Bill Belichick, Coach O'Brien, they'll have them ready to go. They got really good players that we have to prepare for. You know, starting with the offensive line, they do a good job when playing together, doing a good job of moving people off the line of scrimmage. A lot of weapons at the tight end position that are, you know, tough to cover, and they compete in the run game. The backs are big guys that are hard to tackle, and they're live in the passing game. And then you get to the receivers, and they all have certain skill sets that they do a good job at, and it's tough. It's tough, and I know Bill will have them ready to go. Both Bill and the other Bill. Sorry.
Is there something that has clicked on the defense on your unit in these last two games?
Couldn't hear you.
Sorry, is there something that has clicked on the defense in the last two games to get those 4 turnovers and change the game for your team that way?
Guys seizing the opportunity. They work on it in practice. They work on it in the meeting room. It's just constantly working through the process. And then trying to find a way to get your reward on Sunday or Monday. And last week we had a good opportunity to do that, and we took advantage of it. And now we're starting the process now for New England.
I guess just got to ask, since I see the hat, you tuned into the Aces championship run. You fired up?
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, Arlen.
Since when was it? 2007. That's when I first got into women's basketball. I was at Notre Dame. And Niele Ivey, who's the head coach at Notre Dame now, she was an assistant there. That was 2 or 3 years before Skylar got there. So I got into women's basketball then. My first women's basketball game, I saw Candace Parker. I saw her play against Tennessee versus Notre Dame. So I started following women's basketball back then, and I really enjoy it and wish them the best of luck today. My wife and kids will be there, so yeah.
Thanks.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank
All
you.
right, so that was Patrick Graham. He was the one that started it off. Like I said, we have Patrick Graham, Mick Lombardi, Davante Adams, and of course Jimmy Garoppolo. This is normally their weekly presser, and here's Mick Lombardi.
Each other, as far as he knows or so well, that's what it is.
No, I mean, every year is different. We've so far removed from being there, and you're basically going to go and watch the tape and see what they're doing this year, and assess the game plan, assess the scouting report, and go from there. And everybody changes scheme, go through self-scout. We've changed things, they've changed things. So you try to take things in a singularity and just kind of go from there. And we know them from a personal standpoint, but going back to when we were there before, it's training camp practice was different every day, similar to how every game plan is different every week. So familiarity with people and know the personalities of, but in terms of scheme and stuff like that, we're definitely up for a tough test this week because they play very well and they're very sound coached.
It's nice to get some more guys involved this past week, and a lot more guys touch the ball on offense.
Yeah, that was definitely key for us going forward in the season, trying to get some guys to touch the football and spread the ball around. I thought Jimmy did a good job of that early in the game, and we got some guys going, and they saw some production early, and we were able to move the football.
Was it by design, or was it more just the way things played out?
A little mixture of both, So Jimmy did a good job of taking the plan and going from there and taking what the defense gave him, and the ball found different people, which was great. Whether it was Amir Abdullah on third down, or Michael Mayer start the game, or Jacoby or Davante, and everybody played a role in the win, which was great. And again, I can't say this enough, but just touching the football isn't the biggest thing that some guys do. The first third down or second down, both halfbacks chipped the ends and really did a good job in terms of the protection, and that was the biggest part of the play. So a lot of production from a lot of guys, and not just touching it, but also doing their job around the football.
Coaching him in New England to now him being here, how cool is it to see the development in Jacoby Myers' game, and what are some of the things that you've noticed that have developed?
Yeah, Jacoby has always had a good skill set in terms of hands and quickness. We saw that from when he came out of NC State, and we took him as an undrafted free agent, and then obviously working closely with him as his position coach. Jacoby's always wanted to try and get better and try and improve. He's changed his body, formed a routine, very dedicated to his craft, and just overall his knowledge of defenses and defensive structure and how to run routes and releases has improved so much, and it's still improving, and he wants to get better. I think that's something I've mentioned before in the past, where he's learned from Davante and Davante's learned from him, and the other guys in the room, whether DC or Hunter. There's different routes you run at different spots of the field, and he's trying to master all those, and I think he's tried to get on the same page with the quarterback, and he's done a good job of that. He's still growing. He's still a young player, but I'm very proud of him and what he's accomplished. And
Yeah,
he obviously plays a big role for us as a team. But I have a lot of close feelings for Jacoby Myers. So and a lot of close feelings for that receiver room. I think at the end of the day, that Jacoby and Davante and those guys in that receiver room, they really exude a lot of things we search for in terms of what we want to be as an offensive football team. And I think Coach Egger does a good job of trying to get that accomplished every single day because they all try and work for each other and try and get better. And they're not selfish, they're dedicated, and they want to win. And that's all you can ask from the position room, and that room does a great job of that.
Like DeAndre Carter is a guy that Trey Tucker leans on a little bit. That's something that DeAndre's brought to the room and kind of experience.
Again, the same point I made before. DeAndre is a professional, been on different teams, and is a smaller size receiver who has a skill set in terms of speed and can play on different spots of the field. So he's definitely, I would say, been a mentor not just to Trey but to other young receivers. And like I said before, that room is just very close knit, and they all feed off each other. And it's really fun to watch at practice. They all root for each other. They all take reps. I think we saw in the game Trey got a little banged up on special teams, and then next man up. Hey, DC's playing some of his role. Hunter's playing some of his role. Kind of guys who are all trying to make the team go. And DC's done again, just like Jacoby, a professional who cares about the team first. That's what we look for in every position, and that's what the receiver room has.
5 games into your second season as an offensive coordinator, what are some things that you feel like have become easier for you to navigate coaching this offense?
I think coaching, in the NFL, nothing's easy about it on a week-to-week basis. You play extremely well-coached defenses every week. You try and put your players in the best position to win, and you try and preach the main goals you want to try and get accomplished. And I think just over having exposure with a lot of guys who have been here before, they kind of know what to expect. We just did the scouting report on New England, and they kind of were all locked in. They knew what we were going to cover. They knew how we were going to go over the game plan. I think their dedication and their anticipation of what we're going to say to them and how we're going to say it to them has been something that has been easier in year 2. But in terms of getting ready for an opponent in the NFL, whether you're a position coach, coordinator, quality control coach, there's nothing easy. I mean, I remember the dark days of breaking down games, and there's some defensive coordinators doing some crazy stuff, and you're like, gosh dang, what am I going to call this? And then same thing now. I'm watching, and Mitch Singler and Fred do a great job of doing that stuff, and I'm watching it. And I'm like, man, this is going to be a tough test for us this week because a lot of these defenses are well coached, and they take away a lot of things you want to do offensively. So
little
there's
man,
challenges
I said, what
everywhere
up?
in every position. But you're right. Obviously,
Salute to
year
KJ.
2 obviously provides some, I would say, some leeway, but it's definitely going good. Obviously, if we play good on Sunday, and you hope for that, and hope that they execute the game plan, which they do a great job of normally, wins help. So wins help.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
Appreciate
so that was Coach Lombardi at the podium just now. You heard what he had to say. I see a lot of you guys coming on in. Those that haven't already, do me a favor, break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell. And now we got Tay at the podium.
Did you get some film with defense or in preparation for this week?
I haven't had a chance to really look at them as much as what obviously I will throughout the week, but I mean, it's just one of those games where you can't be fooled into thinking that it's not a solid team because of the record, and you got to keep in mind the history of the organization and who's coaching over there, and they do have a lot of players that can make plays, so it's just one of those games that you got to kind of dive into the tape and make sure you know who you're playing against. That way you don't get fooled thinking that, based off of the 1-4 record, that it's going to be an easy game. And then just based off the way we've been playing, we need to focus more on what we got going on, versus what everybody else is doing and that type of stuff. And I feel like that'll help us be consistent more consistently.
How are you feeling coming out of the last game? Still progress health-wise?
Yeah, making progress. A little sore, but still making progress.
Jacoby is going through this week what you did kind of last week with all the attention, going against the former team, all that. Have you kind of talked to him, shared what your experience was?
I mean, my experience wasn't anything like what it was supposed to be, so it is what it is on that. But yeah, we don't really talk too much about it. We treat everybody the same. Everybody gets same treatment when we get out there as far as the attention we give them and the intensity we play with. So, yeah, it's not something that we're going to sit there and chop it up too much about. I mean, you play for them, and I play for the Packers. It kind of is what it is.
Obviously, it's a much different team, with a couple adjustments, but just based on playing the Patriots last year, what were some things that you noticed that they did well as a defense?
I mean, they play well together. They're coached well, so obviously they have a good scheme, do a pretty good job. I haven't really had a game against the Patriots yet where I feel like I had, a game that I was hoping to have. So, they obviously understand who's meant to do what, and who's who in the zoo, as we say around here. So at the end of the day, you got to find ways to still make it happen, and not use it as an excuse to not having certain guys be able to produce regardless. So you just gotta get a plan together and execute it.
He's been pretty productive so far this season in the games he's been healthy. What do you think's allowed him to have so much success early on?
Just being ready. I mean, he's a really good player, and he's one of those guys that take it serious throughout the week. With the film study and knowing who he's going against, and the intensity that he brings every snap is it's a winning intensity, and winning intentionality to what he does too. So makes it easy, and if guys that take plays off, that might be the one where the quarterback was looking to you, and he doesn't really do that. So it makes it a lot easier on the quarterback in our team.
Let me pause this for 2 seconds. Let me pause that for 2 seconds. I apologize, guys. Those that are on Instagram right now, come on over to YouTube. Come over to Raider Nation News today. We are playing the presser from Jimmy Garoppolo and Davante Adams. Davante is at the podium now. Come on over. Raider Nation News today on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get back into it, guys.
And obviously it was just one win, but it was a very important win, especially when you look at the calendar. Did you stop for a second and remind players of that feeling and say this is what we need to feel like all season?
Well, yeah, I mean, we obviously want to try to bundle up that feeling as much as possible, but what I said more was about not even making it as close as what it was, because a game like that we need to have some type of convincing victories. That way we can really hold on to that feeling, not the feeling of just squeezing out. Obviously, defense did a great job coming through in the clutch at the end of the game, but we didn't do much to help them out there, and we haven't been this year. So that's more what I'm focused on, rather than just squeezing victories by and being happy at that. I feel like there's more to take from a game than just a win or loss. Depending on, you can be on either side. Obviously, you'd rather win regardless, but you can win a game and look shitty, and we've done that too many times. So we got to start changing the way it looks.
I know you probably wish you guys could have done more offensively, but some more guys touched the ball probably than any other game this season. Is that important? Was that nice to see going forward?
I mean, yeah, it's cool, but it's not. I don't care. If 2 people touch the ball and we score 50 points, I'd rather that than have 90 people touch the ball in a game and you go out and you can't score over 20 points.
Something of your offense that you enjoyed, that you liked, and you said, okay, we can build off this?
I feel like we did better blocking the run and running the ball. So we just got to find a way to keep getting JJ up to the backers, and we block the safeties and do our job, and then it'll create more explosive runs. So did a little bit better job with that than what we had earlier in the season.
All right.
Thank you, Tay.
I'm gonna pause this for a minute. And no, it's not a joke. But look, Tay is always as real as it gets. He doesn't sugarcoat a damn thing when he's at the podium, and he's not afraid to tell it how it is. Look, much rather 2 guys score 50-plus points as opposed to 90 guys only scoring 20. He's not satisfied with what's going on right now. He's not satisfied with this offense, and realistically, it's a regression right now. Again, the last 3 weeks, the offensive line has been god-awful. As it stands right now, going into this Week 6 matchup against New England Patriots, our offense is ranked 26. Our defense, on the other hand, vast improvement. Our linebacking core is really got me on the verge of falling out of my chair. I really was very nervous about them, especially how thin the depth was at the linebacker position. But as it stands right now, the Raiders defense is ranked 16th. 16th. They moved up 2 spots from last week. They were 18th going into this matchup against the Packers. They're now 16th. 3 takeaways against the Green Bay Packers on Monday night. Jordan Love's 3 interceptions, 2 by Robert Spillane, the other by Amik Robertson. This defense, injuries and all, are doing a very solid job these last couple of weeks for our Raiders defense and for our team as a whole. Now, I want to touch on, before I have Jimmy Garoppolo's presser, there's another thing to talk about from that presser with Davante Adams. Look, he wasn't happy with the production that he had this past week, and rightfully so. If I remember correctly, I'm going to pull it up anyways. Where is it? The box score? Is that it? Yeah, here we go. 4 receptions, 45 yards, 11.3 on average. As long as it was a 20-yard reception, he was only targeted 4 times in the game, right? They talked about last year's matchup against New England. Davante only had 4 receptions for 28 yards the entire game. So I think we all can clearly hear his frustration right now with him not getting the ball. And I wholeheartedly agree. That also does not mean we need to throw the ball to him 20 plus times a game, but get him in the mix. Like, I get at times he's double teamed, sometimes even triple teamed. We got to find a way to get him the ball, though, one way or another. Shout out to Spicy in the chat. Appreciate you pulling on up. Dan Tesla, did you see that Pat McAfee show with Aaron Rodgers saying the Raiders are using Tay wrong? I did not. And if I find that, I would love to clip it and put it up as a short, but I'll probably get killed for it. So let me not do that. I can't think of anybody who's satisfied. The people who want to tank are pissed. The ones who want a good season are pissed. We have nothing to hang our hats on. And yes, the defense is better, but it's the middle of the pack. For us right now, David, and those are some very, very valid points. Salute to you. Bro, it's a vast improvement compared to last year when we were at the bottom of the barrel. And that's all we wanted to see this season was some improvement when it comes to our defense. Granted, our defensive interior is still something that's questionable. Our rookie, Tyree Wilson, he's still getting into the mix and learning the next level, which is the NFL. We saw one really, really bad decision he made the other night where he shot inside as opposed to, as an edge rusher, doing his main assignment, which is containing the outside. And we saw what happened on that 77-yard pass. I believe it was Christian Watson on that reception. So I get what you're saying. But again, our defense is definitely in a much better place than it has been. Our offensive line is the main concern. The offensive play calling, yes, still a concern at times as well. Let's move forward and go into Jimmy G as he takes the podium for his weekly presser.
No, you saved him, man.
Shout out to my Oos. Shout out to Wasted. They're both in IG. Guys, come on over to Raider Nation News today on YouTube and join the chat.
Jimmy, 9 targets that you tapped into on Sunday. I know every game kind of is unto itself, but is that ideally where you guys want to get to in terms of utilizing everybody?
Yeah, I think that's kind of, good recipe for us. Just different guys getting yards, keeps the defense on their toes. It makes it tough on those guys. So we got a lot of weapons, man. It's my job to use them.
I counted a bunch of them, and including yourself, all of you guys are new to this team, basically, except for Davante, maybe Hunter. So does it take a little while for to get that all together?
I think it gets better with time, obviously. Just the more reps we get, the more we can talk about it just in the locker room together, little things like that. That's kind of where we're at right now. I mean, it's done some good for us, but we still got room to grow, definitely. I mean, we're still pretty early in the season.
But being able to connect with all these people and look for them, does that have a lot to do with your chemistry developing now and like that relationship?
Chemistry, trust. I think those are the two main things. I mean, we come out here, a lot of our routes have different options on them, so you got to trust that the receiver, tight end, running back, whoever it is seeing the same picture you're seeing. Once they earn that trust as a quarterback, it makes your job so much easier because you can know where they're going to be, trust that they're going to be in that spot, and that's when you can play fast.
And just a completely random question, your t-shirt had a specific message. Did you purposely choose it?
Say it again?
That t-shirt you were wearing coming in, was there a reason for it, or did you just like it?
Honestly, I just like the design. I don't even know what it said. I appreciate it. No,
French.
It's just I thought it looked cool, honestly. Yeah, I'm pretty simple with when it comes to that.
You get Michael Mayer twice in the first quarter, and then you got Hooper involved later in the game as well. How big is it getting the tight ends into the game plan and involving them in the game?
Before he answers that question, I think everybody in the chat can answer this question for him, that involving the tight ends, getting the tight ends more involved right now, especially in this offensive scheme of Josh McDaniels, is incredibly important, and it's something that should have been utilized the first couple of weeks of the season. We saw the same movie last year when it came to the lack of utilization of Josh Jacobs the first 4 weeks of the season. We just completed week 5, and now all of a sudden we're targeting our tight ends. Well, let's hear what he had to say about that, though.
It's something that we haven't done a lot of, so I think it was a nice little change-up for us. Like I said before, it keeps the defense on their toes. They have to cover everybody, and those guys, they run hard with the ball, man.
L Rock at Dangerfield, come over to YouTube.
Year, sometimes in throwing the ball, what adjustments have you had to
to make, whether it's your internal clock or maybe adjustments that you have to do with what you want to do with your guys?
Some French shirt, but I didn't
getting
see
the
it.
protection right, obviously where it starts, the communication part of it, but just being decisive with it, I think. Knowing where I'm going with the ball, having to plan pre-snap and reacting to what they do post-snap. I mean, it sounds pretty simple, but yeah, just if you have a plan, you could usually, get rid of the ball pretty quickly.
You and Belichick obviously know each other pretty well. Do you enjoy these kind of chess matches? You try and surprise them, things that you're not expecting? What goes in your preparation against the guy you know pretty well?
I think it would be pretty hard to surprise Coach. He's been in the league for a while, obviously, one of the best to ever do it. He's seen just about everything. So we'll do what we do. Sure we'll have a couple of wrinkles here and there. I'm sure they will too. But yeah, that's kind of the chess match. When you play against a former coach, I've learned it's fun though, man. You got to embrace it and make the best of it.
Are you shocked with the way things are going in New England right now? Because it hasn't been often seeing them that way through the last 2 decades.
Before he answers that question, that's probably one of the most asinine and stupid questions you could ask right now. He's not a Patriot. He hasn't been a Patriot in over 7 years. And look, everybody sees it right now. Rex Ryan eviscerated the Patriots the other day. This is it for them. This is it for them. They have a lot of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. They've only scored 3 points in the last 2 weeks. This is the end of that Brady Belichick dynasty that once upon a time was. Like, it's done. It's done, son. Let's hear what Jimmy had to say anyways.
I think it is what it is, They've been in some close games, though. It could get skewed by if you just look at their record, but when you look a little more in depth into it, they're a good team. They've been in close games with some good teams, so we got to come correct here on Sunday.
Obviously, Monday Night Football games gives you an extra day of preparation the week before, but now you get a day less to get ready for this one. How do you go into the week planning that way?
I think the coaches do a great job. They have a good plan for us this week. Getting the stuff down today, and then tomorrow's gonna be a big day for us. Just is what it is, man. Season's always weird, so you just got to adapt and hit it on the run.
Tay has talked a lot about that winning mentality. When I asked him earlier about it, he said that, yeah, it was good to win, but he feels like there's still a dominating effect that's needed with the win.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever you win, it's always a good feeling. It's hard to win in this league, but you want to be perfect. I think as an offense, we're trying to always push for that. Just the little details that we could tone in on. If we could get those knocked down, we could really do some damage. But it's just about us, man. We got to get ourselves right before anything.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there you guys have it. Those are our presser, which is normally our weekly of just Jimmy G and Davante Adams, but we also got to hear from Coach Patrick Graham, defensive coordinator, and our offensive coordinator, Coach Lombardi, as well. So that's not too bad. And no, we're not done. I'm not wrapping anything up. Guys, I appreciate y'all being in here, though. And those that are just coming on in, welcome. Break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell. We just talked about Tay. Again, these guys asking these questions about the Patriots, like we see it. I think everybody sees it right now. They're bad. They are bad. But again, we say that, but we play teams like that, and sometimes we play down to their level, and I'm hoping to God that that is not the case this coming Sunday as the Patriots head to Vegas to face our Raiders. Let's go into the injury report, as that was released a little while ago, and then we'll get into the other parts of this as well. And we might even open up the phone lines for a little bit. We've only been on about a half hour, so why the hell not? But this is posted, and this is just an estimate when it comes to the Raiders, as they did not have a practice today. Davante Adams with the shoulder, he did not participate. Jacorian Bennett, shoulder limited. Max Crosby, knee limited. Marcus Epps, knee limited. Nate Hobbs, ankle, did not participate. Malcolm Kuntz, knee, full participant. David Long Jr., limited with the ankle. Jacoby Myers, wrist, limited. Amik Robertson, knee, full participant. Trey Tucker, knee, limited. Again, the Raiders did not practice today. This is just an estimated report for them. For the New England Patriots, Matthew Judon, elbow, did not participate. Defensive lineman Christian Barmore, knee, limited. Offensive tackle Trent Brown, chest, limited. Cody Davis, a defensive back, knee, limited. Demario Douglas, the receiver, concussion, limited. Defensive lineman Trey Flowers, foot, limited. Defensive lineman Davin Godchow, ankle, limited. Cornerback Jonathan Jones, ankle, limited. Offensive lineman Mike Onwenu, I'm hoping I'm not butchering it. Ankle limited. Offensive lineman Riley Reef, knee limited. Juju Smith-Schuster, concussion limited. Guard Cole Strange, knee limited. Linebacker Josh Uche, knee limited. And cornerback Sean Wade, shoulder limited. They are banged up, and it's really more across the offensive line and the secondary more than anything else. So it's definitely something to keep close attention to throughout the week as we give you guys these updates. So, I'm sorry, guys. Better than last year. If the rookie didn't start, we'd be 3-2. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. And at the same time, like, we could have came back and won that game with starting a quarterback. Look, he did struggle in the first half. He tried to do everything to dust himself off and carry that team back to the win, and things just didn't play out the way that they were supposed to. So again, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Our offense was better last year. It was, to a degree, but then we steered away from things that worked and would have these second half collapses, and you saw the final product. 6-11. Terrible record. Didn't get in the playoffs. Next weekend, bro. Shout out to Raul. Damn, they're broken up bad. Yeah. And Christian Gonzalez is out. I think he's out for the year, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong about that. Dangerfield, salute. This team is a lot better than last year's team. Our defense is a hell of a lot better than last year's defense. Our offensive line has to pick it up, and they have to pick it up fast. For those that are unaware of the next 5 games, these are very much so winnable games. We go and we're back home this weekend. We play the Patriots. Next weekend, we're in Chicago against the Chicago Bears. Then we head to Detroit against the Lions. And then we have the Jets and the Giants the following 4th and 5th week. Winnable games, man. The Giants are depleted. They look like they're going to be in the middle of a fire sale. We talked about potentially trying to get Big Cat Leonard Williams via trade by Halloween, which is a trade deadline. The Jets, Zach Wilson really is not a starting quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. Aaron Rodgers went down with that Achilles injury, gone in 93 seconds. They just lost their offensive lineman, Elijah Vera Tucker, for the year to a torn Achilles as well. That's another team that is very, very much depleted. And with the Giants, Daniel Jones just suffered a neck injury. I think as it's going right now, Tyrod Taylor will be starting for the Giants this coming, I believe it's a Sunday night game or a Monday night game against the Buffalo Bills. Anything's possible, though, man. We cannot play down to any of these teams, though. And again, it's going to start for us with our offensive line. If your offensive line don't work, your offense ain't going to work. Point blank, period, the end. And this is why we heard Davante Adams, as frustrated as he is right now in regards to him not really getting the touches with this offense only being able to put up 20 points this past Monday night. You got to be able to capitalize on your turnovers, and capitalize is not 3 points. Capitalizing is getting a full 7, a touchdown, and an extra point. So, Hammer, what happened to Ducks? I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to see Mumford at right tackle. We all would like to see Mumford at right tackle. We spoke about Mumford throughout the season last year. We were constantly saying, at least I know I was, that he was on the heels of taking Illuminor's spot. As it stands right now, there's a chance that Illuminor will be back this coming Sunday against his former team, the New England Patriots. But we'll see what Coach McDaniels, Coach Priscillo decide to do in regards to who's going to be starting at the right tackle this coming Sunday. Shout out to Sean L. We in the building. What up, Big Hammer? Salute. What do you think of the success on that 55-2 defense? We did that Shut Packers rundown afterwards. So I've been talking about this a lot recently, Sean, and definitely appreciate you in the comments as well. I've been talking about this nickel defense, and I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not. I grew up playing both the 4-3 and 3-4. Semi-pro was more of a 4-4 at times, but the 5-2, like, you have your linebackers that are dead center. Like, I get that you have the nickel corner that's serving the purpose as an outside linebacker. I definitely see it when it comes to Nate Hobbs because that dude is all over the place, hash to hash, sideline to sideline. But I would much rather prefer, I'd much rather prefer seeing Patrick Graham switch it up a little bit because even coming into this organization, he was interviewed in regards to the type of defenses that he likes to run, and he said it's more of a hybrid style type defense. We're seeing the 5-2 over and over and over again. We're also seeing the zone defense being used over and over and over again. You got to switch it up because that's going to be the next thing. We know that the NFL is more of a pass-friendly league now, but at the same time, you do have some of these premier running backs that you really need to take account for and switch up that defense, run some stunts across the defensive line, blitz a little bit more. But if you're going to blitz, it doesn't necessarily have to be out of the 5-2 and using that slot. Go out of a 4-3 every once in a while and use one of those three linebackers to shoot the holes and make something happen. But, like, you got to change it up. You absolutely have to change it up. And at least that's how I feel about it. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Most definitely. Kenny Raiders, yes, sir. He's gone for the season. Okay, that's and Christian Gonzalez we're talking about. Slide Illuminor into guard position over. I would love to see that as well. I would absolutely look. I was going to say it before. I'd much rather see him get kicked inside and leave Illuminor a tackle and just take Van Roten out. I really would. Berserk, what's good, man? What's up, Hammer? Finally caught your live today. I usually work today, but they switched my days off. Keep up the amazing work, my brother. Loving the show. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And appreciate you pulling on up. That's because we've had zero pass rush. And again, hopefully this is readdressed because, again, our defensive line is really not doing that great of a job right now. Hopefully it's readdressed by Halloween, and maybe we bring in another edge rusher via trade, or we get an interior defensive lineman, a defensive tackle. We shall see, though. We still have a couple of weeks before the trade deadline, and I think we will do a live that day, probably like after the deadline, but we will be live to break that down, and if we made any moves, which I hope we do. Again, this next 5 weeks, this is incredibly crucial right now for our record moving forward and what we can do. And I don't want to hear, oh, tank for Caleb Williams. I'm one person that tanking is one of the worst words I could ever hear, let alone one of the worst words I could ever use, whether it being on here or when I'm off air. But I hate that word with a passion. I really do. Like, if you want to go and do that, go somewhere else. But this is not an organization that tanks, and I'm not with that at all. I can definitely see us winning at least 4 out of the next 5 games coming up, 1 week at a time, but I would love to see that right now, Kenny. I'd absolutely love to see that. I've been saying it. Right guard and leave Loom at right guard, Mumford at right tackle, makes the right side better for the run. Yep. Our QB can't distribute the ball. Our offense this year is much worse than last year. It's really sad. Are you, Darkside, are you holding this or putting the blame on Jimmy G for this? I did notice, like, the other night, I saw some things that just were kind of disturbing where he was getting the happy feet, and those happy feet look reminiscent of our former starting quarterback. He's got to get out of that, but at the same time, the last couple of weeks with this offensive line, they're not giving him time. And the pocket is collapsing incredibly quickly. We saw it happen to Aiden O'Connell as well. That offensive line needs to wake the hell up and get their stuff together incredibly quickly because, again, these next 5 games are incredibly crucial, incredibly important. We do have some matchups this weekend that could help us as well in regards to our division. Even starting tomorrow night, the Kansas City Swifts play the Denver Broncos. Let the Broncos keep on losing. I believe the Cowboys are playing the Chargers. Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator of the Chargers, is going against his former team in Dallas. I really hope Dallas takes care of business in LA as well, but we shall see. We went through the injury report. We went through the pressers. You guys want to open up the vault line for a little bit? Just give me a thumbs up, and we can open it up for a few minutes. Like I said, we've been on for about 38 minutes. I don't think I'm going to even do a full hour because we covered a lot so far. But if you guys want me to open up the vault line, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Those that are on IG, I'm sorry I'm not ignoring you. We are live on YouTube on Raider Nation News today. Come on over there, join the chat, get involved in the conversation, and hit that subscribe button as well. For those that are in the YouTube chat, you guys can see on the top right corner we're at 6911, 89 away from 7,000 subs. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And those that are in here already, y'all know the routine. Break them thumbs, hit them subs, and smash the bell. Appreciate y'all. He calls all the plays. I believe that rumor that Josh McDaniel dictates where the ball goes. Yeah, I do believe that as well. And I got to do the right way, right? Yeah. But yeah, I agree with that. Pride and purpose. Salute, salute, salute. Ruthless salute. All right. I can't call. I'm already. Oh my God. All right. So I do believe I have this connected right now. So I think we're actually going to leave Instagram right now. Guys, I apologize again. Come on over to Raider Nation News Today on YouTube. We're going to open up the phone lines right now. So pull on up. You guys are not going to want to miss out if you guys want to sound off on today's current topics. But I'll catch you guys. So we're wrapping that one up. Let me get into the phone and get this up and running for you guys. And there's one more thing I'm missing. Oh, there it is. There you guys go. The number's on the screen. SeatGeek Vault line 347-471-0361. Call on in. Sound off on tonight's topics. We're only going to take a couple of calls. Like I said, I don't want to be on very long. I just wanted to be on here with you guys because we're on every Wednesday for these pressers, so I can't miss that. No matter how early it went on, I still got home, scheduled it, lit it up as quickly as possible, and here we are. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me tonight. I would even put Van Roten out at blocking tight end because he used to play tackle in college. Possibility. Could be something that could be in the works. Shout out to Oakland fan. Great show, Hammer. This is James J. Great show, Hammer. Real Raider fans will never even speak of tanking. Look at our history. We had the greatest slogans for a reason. We just need to get back to just winning, baby. There you go, brother. Raider realist, salute, salute, salute. The good stuff. How do people blame O-line and not JJ for bad play, but blame Jimmy while having the same O-line? See, again, it's I don't know if it's football IQ thing or just like you didn't like the signing of Jimmy Garoppolo. And we got our first caller, but this is not connecting to thing. We're going to have to do this again. We're going to have to do this the other way through the app because I don't know what just happened with that. So let me fix this. I had this fixed the other day with when we did the show with Graph, but for some strange reason. So I'm going to adjust this real quickly and get you guys right and ready. Roadcaster. All right, so we're good. So, guys, yeah, the number's on the screen. The number's on the screen. Call on in, sound off, and we'll get this right and ready. Here we go. Raider Nation News Today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Raider Hammer. What's up, man? It's Cyber School Raider.
What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I just want to talk about Monday night win.
Okay, sound off.
Okay. All right. What's up, Raider Nation? You know, Raiders for life. I'm this calling, man, to say the defense got to play much better. I'm glad we got that victory. You know, one man can't do it all by himself. You know, I like what Max Crosby did. You know, he showed the defense like the song by the Jacksons, show you the way to go. I like that the 2 interceptions, and then I like the game-winning pick that number 21 got for us to close it out in was 44 seconds. But first of all, we got to talk about this 4th and 1. Josh McDumbass did the same thing in Pittsburgh. Josh Jacobs running real good. We don't need to go for no field goal on 4th and 1. We need to go for it. We need 6 points on the board plus that PAT. That would have been better. And let's get on this offensive line real quick. You know, I heard that the Raiders offense is the top 5 most expensive offensive line in the NFL, and they at the bottom. You know, they need to start blocking better. That's how come Josh Jacobs haven't been rushing real good like he did last year. And Jimmy Garbage got to do that 1, 2, 3 drop pass. You know, he can't hold the ball like he used to. You know, he can't hold that ball, you know, real long, you know, because these linebackers are gobbling him up just like Pac-Man get eaten up by a ghost. on Pat, man.
You know what's funny in regards to what you were just talking about in regards to Jimmy Garoppolo and his drop back rather. Andy said the same thing the other night, and neither one of us ever played quarterback, but we know the game like the back of our hands, and like the common drop is normally like a 3 to 5 step drop. But again, it's not easy. It's not easy to get that drop back and try to get that ball out of your hands when your line is just collapsing immediately.
Yeah, ridiculous.
And
that's why I said the offensive line needs to get better.
That's the main problem right now. Like everybody's pointing different fingers. Like people are saying, "Oh, Jimmy G is garbage. Oh, Josh Jacobs, we should have never brought him back." Da-da-da. If your O-line don't work, your offense is not going to work. That's it.
Your offense ain't going to work, period. And it goes right back on the hands of the damn management. You know what I'm saying? It really does. Because I'm like this, Ham. Do you know I play better with the Raiders than the on Madden? And then they do for real.
Oh, my God.
No. Wait. When I say I play better with the Raiders on Tecmo Bowl and all the other games that I had through the years, still got them. I play better with the Raiders on those games. They do for real.
So I just had to throw the throwback Tecmo Bowl on the screen. Let me do that one more time, actually, because I don't think everybody saw it, but got the old school Bo Jackson spiking it right there. There you go. That was
look. I'm gonna end you with this. You know what pissed me off? You know that you don't know Bo documentary that came on ESPN?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they got that wrong because they say Tecmo Bowl, right? Bo Jackson was the strongest player on Tecmo Bowl. I'm like, the Tecmo Bowl field, they have an NFL sign. That was Tecmo Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Michael Corleone on The Godfather. Don't insult my intelligence because that makes me very angry. You talking about one of the greatest football games ever made.
Bro,
but like I said, before I let you go, we got to come together as a family unit and win these next games, man. Because, you know, them Patriots, they falling like dominoes. Matt Jones done been, benched twice. Then we got Chicago. Look, we got the Cocaine Bears. And then we got the New York, what used to be Giants. They falling by the wayside, as my grandma used to say. But the matchup that I wouldn't say it's kind of iffy, is them red hot Detroit Lions, man.
That's the only team. That's the only team right now that I'm nervous about, and this was a team going into the season that I said was definitely a front runner to win the NFC North. They're the one team. Dan Campbell has done a phenomenal job turning that team around. So right now, as it stands, I still say we have to take it 1 week at a time. But going into that matchup in another 2-3 weeks, like I'm definitely nervous about that matchup, most definitely. But I appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you sounding off on this, bro.
And this the last fact I'm going to give you.
Go ahead.
When I looked at Bear Sanders' football life, Bear Sanders said if the Detroit Lions would have let him out his contract, guess what team he wanted to play for?
Our Raiders?
Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro. All right, man.
You be easy, man.
Take care. Yo, I always love getting the calls from you guys and hearing you guys sound off because it's always something different, but very insightful at times and just awesome. I know you guys enjoyed that phone call as well. I got to go back up to the chat because I saw something that is pretty spot on. I got to see if I can find it again, though. Shout out to Oakland fan, man. Is tanking a Gen X thing? I've never thought about it before. I think it is. Seriously, I think it is. I absolutely think it is. Like, I just don't understand the concept and why people are so for that. Oh, you're going to get the number 1 overall pick. Again, you guys can hype up Caleb Williams all you want. I did see his game against Colorado 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to disrespect the kid. But at the same time, the NFL draft, the first round of the NFL draft, when you're drafting a quarterback, is a crapshoot. Do you not see what the Jets are doing right now or what they did drafting Zach Wilson, 2nd overall, and what the hell he's doing for the Jets? Look, Josh Rosen. I think he was a first-round quarterback. We saw that movie and how that went. There's no guarantees with a first-round quarterback, guys. So stop with the, we got to tank for Caleb. No. And if that is your mindset, if that truly is your mindset, you don't know football. You don't know your ass from your elbow. You need to give it up. Sorry, not sorry. I said what I said. Yeah. Anybody else want to call in? Feel free to call in. I'll put the number back up on the screen. There's my rant for the day, by the way. 347-471-0361. Call into the SeatGeek Vault line. Sound off on tonight's topics. You guys see it in the top right corner, 691189 from 7K. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And those that are in here, we have 112 in the chat right now. If you haven't already, do these 3 simple things. Break them thumbs, hammer the sub, and smash the bell. I know it wasn't on the screen because we had the other thing up, the other thingy. There it is. You guys see it, whatever. Caleb is not coming here. There you go. There you go. Like, I'm sick and tired of hearing it already, man. I'm really sick and tired of hearing it. And we're only 5 weeks into the season. Week 6 officially begins tomorrow, but stop with the bullshit. Stop with the tanking. Stop with the, let's get Caleb. Stop. Tom Brady was 199th overall pick. Thank you. You guys you gotta stop. Again, if anybody else wants to call in, call in. If not, I'm gonna wrap it up. This was actually a productive ass show. Let me actually go to ESPN real quickly so I could just break this down. I don't know if Desert is still in here. He probably is because he wants his accolades and his highlights. Just messing with you, bro. Let me find this real quickly. Is this it? No, this is it. Excuse me, guys. We do have another caller, though, so let's take this call real quick. Raider Nation News Today. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello? Hello. Is this, I'm calling for Hammer?
Speaking, man. You're in the vault. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, hey, what's up, man? This is Arlen.
Hey, how are you, buddy?
I'm a fan of your show, man. I really love your show.
Appreciate you.
So how's it going, man? I just wanted to call in and say that I agree with a lot what you're saying about the offense, man.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't feel like Josh McDaniels should be our coach. I don't think he's going to improve at all. I mean, our defense is starting to step up, but our offense, I don't see it going any further. I do feel that maybe we should give Aiden O'Connell a fair shot. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do feel that if they don't give the ball much more to Adams, he's going to be unhappy, and we're probably going to lose that player. That's my thought.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, and this is the thing with
Hey yo.
I said this from the jump when it came to him being drafted, that realistically, like, we get towards the tail end of the season, if this team is not going to be in the playoffs, then we're probably going to see get his shot towards the tail end of the season and start the last few games. We kind of saw it last year when it came to starting Jarrett Stidham towards the tail end of the season and benching Derek Carr. But we have to just play this out. Again, it's still very early in the season. This next 5-game stretch is incredibly crucial and important to our record and what we could potentially be doing towards the tail end of the season. But I definitely agree with what you're saying right there with that.
Cool, man. I really appreciate. Like I said, I love your guys' show. I love you. I love Graph. I'm a member of all you guys. You guys are my favorites. So I follow you, man. I just hope we get a Super Bowl this year, bro. I really do.
Definitely appreciate the support, bro, and hope to hear from you soon.
All right, man. To the Raider Nation, man, I feel that we're going to cream. I mean, my early prediction is the Patriots are going to have 15 and us 35.
Ooh. I hope that comes to fruition, bro. And definitely call again anytime. Have a great night.
You too, man. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Shout out to Arlen. He definitely just became a member. I think it was like within the last week. Definitely appreciate the support, man. Definitely do. And guys, if you want to support the channel, membership is actually pinned to the top of the chat tonight. If that's wasted, and it says the wasted Equinox, I think I can hit this real quick. If it want, there we go. Is upon us. The equinox is upon us. Shout out to my big bro Wasted. Pre-Chamber, Carolina got Bryce Young, and they're not looking good. You get the first pick and be ready for more years. Thank you. Somebody sees it the way I do. Trap, stop, bro. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Like, oh man. Some of y'all with that whole mentality of tanking.
Dummy, yeah.
Did you see that Tyler Hall was already reverted to the Oh my God. Great. I much rather have kept him on the active roster and got rid of David Long. Sorry, not sorry. If the defense are stacking the box against us because they don't trust Jimmy Arm, why don't we run more play action pass and run more intermediate routes? That was the whole purpose of this offense, that you're supposed to be able to do things like that. You're supposed to be able to do quick slants. You're supposed to be able to do like mesh routes. That play action is supposed to set everything else up. We saw a little bit of the play action this past weekend. Also, when they're running the I formation, it definitely works. The jumbo package was pretty damn good this past week as well. They just have to stay up with what's working and not steer away from what's working. That's the main problem that they have right now. You're wrong about Caleb. He'll be a winner wherever he goes, just like you were wrong about Jimmy G being a winner and you said this offense is going to be good. You're wrong so far about everything. That's cool. That's your opinion, and opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, so salute to you. No need to tank, brother. We have Josh McDaniels. This is all we need for Caleb Williams' season. Will Josh McDaniels pull the trigger on Caleb Williams, though? That would be the next question. If Josh McDaniels was, in fact, back next season, and God forbid we ended up in the top 3 for a draft pick, is Josh McDaniels going to pull the trigger on Caleb Williams? You're not scared of him, simple and plain. Okay. O'Connell scares me. He has zero pocket awareness, and you can't fix that. I don't know what to do. I don't like either QB. I like his arm and his accuracy, but he fumbles too much. And you notice a couple of those fumbles, like he was like legit just bumped into. Wasn't even like smacked out of his hand or anything. He was bumped into and he just fumbled. So it again, guys, he got one start, and that's when it just started that the offensive line had their collapse. Actually, no, it was the Steelers game when the offensive line started to collapse, and it was just a hell of a lot worse from there. After that game against the Chargers, we have had our quarterback sacked a total of 13 times. That's pretty disturbing. 6 sacks for Khalil Mack against his former team. That's pretty disturbing. It is what it is. All right, guys. We've been on for... Actually, we did hit the hour mark. Who knew? Appreciate y'all pulling on up tonight. Definitely a great live. Appreciate everybody that pulled on up. But before I do wrap it up, because, again, I don't want to steer away from this when it comes to Desert. I got to give him his props. I always give people credit where their credit's due. Desert Raider in our content. Pick him on ESPN.com. 53-25 with the weekly picks so far, followed by Dan Raider at 51-26. I'm in third, 48-30. Silver and Black Attack, 48-26. Get it, 48-30. Big Mar, 44, 46-30. The numbers, 46-32. Italian, 1984, 45-33. La Rob, yeah. L.A. Rob, I know who that is. 44-31. And we have Bam Bam at 42-20. So that is your top 10 for our content. Pick them on ESPN. If you guys want to join, I'll put the link in the chat real quickly. It's not too late. I know like we're 6 weeks in, but if you guys still want to join, you're more than welcome to join in and have some fun with this. Let me add it to the chat real quick. And there we go. Desert is already hype in the chat. 53-25. I'm here for it. I can't with you. I knew you were still sitting in the chat waiting for that to pop up. So yeah. Again, guys, I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. If you haven't already, on your way out, break them thumbs, hit them subs, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, fantasy, and more in the official, the original, the only house, Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID is on the rise. Remember to wash your hands. and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. Peace, love, and positivity. We out.